So hello everyone, welcome to CodeVardhan. So in last video we have seen how we can install Python, and in this video we will be taking out the first class of the Python. So first of all, why we will learn Python? So Python is said to be the very widely used web language in case of web development, or you can say that in case of data science, in case of machine learning, in case of AI, and in case of software development. Okay, so in the wide range of things where we are using our Python, in the multiple ways we are using our Python, hence we are taking this programming language in throughout this course and see how Python works, what are the syntax of the Python, what are the things of the Python. So again, we know why Python is there, but why we have chosen Python? Because there are multiple languages that we can choose. So the first point why we have chosen Python is its simple syntax. So Python has a very simple syntax, no curly braces, no full stop, no comma, no semicolons. There nothing like that. We can simply write in a basic in English language and it works. So this is why we say that Python is the very useful programming language, and there's no need the lot of programming knowledge. But yes, we will be going to learn a lot about the programming in this video. Okay. So next thing is versatility. So Python is very versatile language. You can use it anywhere, and it can be used with any other programming languages. It can be used in anywhere. Okay. Second and the third is we have large community. So there are large communities or large part of this entire world is using Python, due to which what will happen, the Python will be any errors and everything will be solved very quickly. And the most and grateful nature is great libraries. Python have a great source of libraries. They are like, you name the thing, you have a library for that, and you will able to use that functionality through that library. So this is why we say that Python is very important programming language, and we are using it throughout this sense. So let's start it. Point number one. So we are using a programming language. Okay, so while learning any programming language, we will let's understand a little bit about how our system works and what is there inside our system. So we all know about our system is made up of processor, and processor is communicating with my RAM. Okay, and RAM is storing my data and everything. Okay, so there is very important thing which is data, and RAM is storing data. Anything which is stored in the RAM, our code is stored in the RAM, and we will be just throwing towards its processor, and processor is processing it, and then after the processing we will get our result. So let's talk about our data. So if I talk about our data, we have a variety of range of data, and if we talk about very think carefully, we have something fixed and through which we will see. So in this case, we have, let's talk about the basic structure of the data. We have three types of data. Either that data can be a number, or a data can be a character. What is a number and what is a character? Number is something like 1, 2, 3, 2.5, 3.8. Anything can be treated as a number. Whereas in case of characters, we have alphabets, A, B, C, D. We have capital alphabets, and we have some special symbols like at the rate, hashtag, etc. So these we can treat it as in characters. In case of numbers, we have two different types. One we called as integer and other we called as float. Okay, one is called as integer and other is called as float. Integer, we can say that any negative number, 0 or any positive number is treated as integer. Whereas in case of floats, for example, I have 1 and 2. If I want a number between 1 and 2, that we can treat it as float, like 1.2, 1.3, something like that. Okay, so this we called as float. Now if I talk about characters, so if I take single characters like A, B, C or D, this or anything like at the rate or hashtag or full stop, comma, so these are called as characters. Okay, and if I join them together like this, A, B, C, D, this becomes string. Okay, so these are the some important data types which we are going to use and see in this particular programming language. Apart from this, we have one more data structure that we called as Boolean. What is this Boolean? Boolean is taking two things, either true or false. Okay, so to store true or false, it stores 1 and 0, false for 0 and 1 for true. Okay, so that we called as Boolean. So these are the basic introduction of data structures and how the data is thing. Okay, now why we need a data structure? For example, we have to store something. So to store something, what I need to store that data into my RAM, and my computer will have to understand which type of data it is and how he will treat it, because understanding that thing is very very important. So we will be treating like that. Okay, so this we called as data structures, or it's called as data types. So technically we can say that data types we have, that is integer, float, character, or string. Okay, I will tell you a very interesting thing, that in case of Python, we are not worrying about which type of data we have to store. We don't have to think about it, and we'll just simply store the data in case of Python. But why we have to learn this? Why we are learning this? Because we know and we have to know what types of data it is, because in the further calculation it's required. Okay, in case of Python, technically it is not needed. Also, in case of Python, character is not there. It takes everything as a string. Either it is a single character or a multiple character. Everything can be treated as string. Now let's go to our Jupyter notebook. So in this way we can go to our Jupyter notebook, which I have already explained in the previous video. In the previous video I was forgot to inform you that you can also use Google Colab. Google Colab is also a way of writing Python codes, where we can write Python codes similar as Jupyter notebook. Okay, that is a complete online version, no need installation needed, nothing is needed. Okay, so we are here. Let's go to our folder. That folder named is as YouTube, and here I am going to create a new notebook file, and I will make it as second. Okay, so this is my second notebook. In this we are going to see how our data structure is there. So for example, I take a variable a and is equal to 5. Okay, and then I say print a, and I run this. Now you can see 5 is printed here. I have written a is equal to 5 and print a, and simply 5 is printed. What is happening here? So for that we have to understand one more thing that we called as variables. Okay, now what is variables? So variables are something like in mathematics, x, where we don't know anything, we take it as x. The same thing that is called as variable. So to store the data, what is happening there? There is a space created by your processor in your RAM, where you are actually storing your data. Either that data is integer, character, float, anything you are storing there. And now that particular space is named with something, so that you can identify that or you can find it wherever you require. So that particular thing is called as variable. Okay, this entire thing will be treated as variable. Okay, now that name a here, I have written a. So this name a is called as identifier. I D E N T I F I E R, identifier. What is this identifier? So identifier is just a name. For example, you can say that your name is your identifier. Okay, so how identifier is? So there are some rules to write the identifier. Point number one, identifier should not start with number. Second, it contains alpha alphabets, numbers, and underscore. Okay, and third thing, it should not have a keyword. Okay, so there is another thing. What is keyword? Now you must be thinking what is keyword? You know number, you know alphabet, you know characters and everything, you know underscore also. Now what is keyword? So keywords are something you can treat it as some words which are reserved. Okay, some words which are reserved for something that we called as keyword. For example, some words are reserved, like you can say tree. In the real life, tree is reserved for something, so you can't name anyone on the name of tree, like uh, tree Sharma, tree Singh. It's nothing like that. So that is what we have tree. So that we called as keyword. So in the programming language also, something is already occupied. For example, print, this is already occupied, so this word is reserved, we cannot use it, so that we called as keyword. Okay, so we can simply see the different things and see how it is happening. So I have printed a, so there is a function we called is a type. Okay, so I am still writing print, and here I am writing type a, and I'm running this. So here you can see it's showing at its class as int. Now it's your task to add different things here and see how it is happening. So I will be showing you. You will also do that while practicing. So in the second case, I am making it as 5.5. Okay, and then I am running this, and this we called as float. Okay, in the next case, for example, I am taking it something else. Okay, and here I am taking it as a, or a is a. Now you can see here a is a identifier, and this a is the data which I am actually storing into it. Okay, now I am running this, say it is showing as string. So this is the different types of parameters, and this, sorry, different types of data which we are using and we are storing. And if I write here apple, so this is becomes a string, and if I run this, this is showing me a string. So a single character is also showing as a string, a multiple character is also showing that string. Okay, this 5.5 is a float, and this is the integer. So this is the simple structure of how we can see the data types and how we can use the data types in our Python. Okay, so that's it for this session. We will be continuing further in the next section. Meanwhile, if you like this video, please do like, do subscribe, comment your doubts. I will be happy to solve them. And please share these videos with your needy friends. Thank you very much.